Welcome to Global Studies, everyone. Pretty soon going to be known as your favorite class. I'm going to just introduce you to what to expect in this class and kind of the setup. So I'm going to start with a quote. We believe the one who has the power. He is the one who gets to write the story. So when you study history, you must ask yourself, whose story am I missing? Whose voice was suppressed so that this voice could come forth? Once you have that figured out, then you must find that story too. From there, you'll get a clear yet still imperfect picture. And that's what we're going to do on this journey here. So, welcome to Global Studies. There are 4 parts of this class that I'd like to share with you. The first is that we are actually going to take a thematic approach to Global Studies this year. So the class will not be chronological. So it's probably going to be different than most other history classes that you've had. The second is that we're going to do blended learning. So like you're hearing right now, you're going to watch a number of teacher-created videos, maybe some other types of videos and other kind of learning tools, but it's going to be a lot of you kind of using your computer to kind of start the learning with something that's curated for you. And then it's going to be self-paced. You know, we all come to this class at a different place, and we want you to be in control of the pace of your learning. Obviously, your teachers will work with you on that to support you, but we think it's really important. You know, some days you have a really good day, and some days you don't. So we want you to be in control of that pace. And the last thing is we're going to focus on mastery-based learning. So you're going to progress from one module to the next when you've demonstrated mastery. And so it's really important that you understand the skills that we're trying to, and we're going to help you get there. So the thematic approach, right? So do you know why we've always learned history chronologically in order of time? And the answer is it's really just the way that's always been taught. So we are going to kind of shake things up. We think that this thematic approach will really help us dig deeper into issues and better connect what was happening in the past to modern issues. So you can turn on the news or listen to the radio or have a discussion with someone else and really kind of connect and see how those themes have continued throughout history. So themes like government, revolution, the role of gender, and see how it's kind of developed in time. So you can really kind of have an educated discussion and argument. Our goal is not to memorize dates, right? You can search a number of things on Google, Wikipedia, but we really want to have that critical analysis and find your own answers to questions that have plagued people for centuries and throughout the world. I think that's one of the great things about history, actually, is that it almost leads to more questions than answers, but being able to have the evidence to support your argument, I think, is really important. Some of the themes that we're going to look at, are government first, religion, conflict, gender, revolution, us versus them, equity and equality. So we're going to bounce around the world and bounce around time periods. So we'll help you along the way, but I think it's going to be a really interesting year. Okay, what does blended learning look like? It's not going to be your typical class with a teacher in front of you just lecturing. I know that's probably typical of many other history classes, but each module will have either a teacher-led video or a resource packet that give you some background. And then you're going to navigate through the assignments with the help of recorded videos, asking your peers. This is very much going to be a collaborative approach. We want you to learn from each other. It's so important to teach other people. It so helps you to synthesize the information and asking questions. So in a lot of sense, you're going to have many different teachers around and many different people that can help you move through this. And then once you've completed the background, you'll have an activity and a number of reflection questions, which are just going to help you prepare for that mastery check. Self-paced learning. I don't know if you're going to like this or not, but I think you're going to really learn a lot of skills from this. So each day you are going to be in charge of your learning. Your teacher's going to have a target date here, as you can see, of what to be on pace, where you should be. It's going to say if you've mastered something, maybe you need to revise something. Maybe you're behind pace, maybe you were sick or had a field trip, or you just had a rough day. That's okay. You can definitely make up that pace. You are never necessarily out of the game. So there'll be a pacing tracker on the front screen. I'm also going to attach it in Google Classroom, and this is going to really help you to see what you need to do to move through these modules and achieve mastery. There are going to be target due dates, as well as the suggested pace reminders to help you, and we'll be going to be meeting daily, every time that I see you, to help you make sure that you're staying on track. It's up to you, though, to stay on pace and to use class time and to complete the module and then achieve mastery. Once the unit is over, you can still work on some missing assignments if need be, but you might miss it for the summative, and you can't work it on those stuff during class time. So you'd have to come to homework. You have to do it for homework or do it for conferences. All right, the last piece is the mastery-based learning. So as you can see here these are the skills that we would like you to master in addition to other kind of topics as well. But really, when you are done with a module and you feel confident, you feel like you understand it, you're going to come up to your teacher and you're going to do a mastery check. You're going to submit your assignments and activities and turn them in Google Classroom. You're going to come up to the teacher, turn in your phone, and you're going to do, they're going to generally be short answer questions. Occasionally they could be multiple choice, but they're going to be just a quick check, very small, 2 or 3 questions maybe, that really help to see if you understood the material that you learned in the module. Every classroom is going to have a designated area for that mastery check, and when you see somebody in that mastery check, you don't talk to them, they're not available to talk. It's an independent activity because we as teachers want to see where you are and how we can best help you. And if you have mastery, then you're ready to move on to the next level. You must get an 80% to earn mastery and move on to the next module. If you get below that, then you're not really there yet. So we're going to be asking you to redo that. And we're saying it's a 5 out of 8 on that IB scale. MYP scale. If you're below, we're just going to talk about revisions that you need to make. Not a problem. Everyone's going to have to do revisions at some point in time. I have had to do revisions. It's all a part of the learning process. Okay. So right now I want you to stop and I want you to take the quiz, the Google form that's linked in Google Classroom, and just make sure you kind of understood what I was talking about. And then you can record what you got on an attempt. And then if you need to go back and do a second attempt, you can do that too. If you need a third attempt, just maybe see a peer or reteaching to see what parts you are missing. So stop the screen and take the Google form quiz. Okay, so now you've taken the Google form quiz. I want you to read this about why we're doing a modern classroom. So read this article right here and this one as well. And then I want you to answer these 2 questions on the next slide. Okay, so you can stop the video and do those 2. And then part 3 is how am I going to get graded? So we're going to look at 3 different categories. So you're going to have your do now sheets we're going to complete at the beginning of class and are going to show your effort and reflection. This is just to help you goal set. It's really good. Even I need to be reminded to do that at times. And then your exit slips or your mastery tickets where you're going to hit 80% or higher. That's going to be 40% of your grade. And then we're going to have summative activities, and we might have some mid-unit kind of midterm check activities. Again, these might be document analysis. We'll have these unit summits. These cannot be revised, and all the work of the unit and the module should be completed ideally before you take these summatives. We're going to try to use a MYP scale of 1 to 8%. So this might distort the percentage in Progress Book. You just want to look at the letter grade. But this is a new thing that we're trying out, so we want to double check that. But everything is going to be on a scale of 1 to 8 or 0 if you didn't attempt. What are you doing in this class? So what should you do when you get to the class? You should check the daily tracker, right? It's going to be posted on the Smartboard to see where you should be focused on, the module that you should be on, and where you're located. Maybe you can find some other people in the class who are on the same module that you are and work with them. Maybe I'll set you up into groups. Maybe you can see who's already finished that module if you need a little help in the class. Again, very collaborative. You're going to pick up a do now sheet in the first 5 minutes of class. It might be either virtual or it might be a piece of paper. And you're going to spend the first 5 minutes making a game plan for the class and then turning it into the teacher. Complete the module, again, found in Google Classroom. There's going to be some background instruction, maybe some reflection questions. Ask help from your peers, rewatch the videos, seek out a conference, work collaboratively but the main goal is to make sure that you have a true understanding. Then complete the mastery check, turn in the module, come up to your teacher, turn in your phone, complete that independently, and then either revise or move on to the next module. What is your teacher doing? I'm going to be meeting in one-on-one groups, checking in with your progress, and providing you with a video instruction you can go back for more help, grading your mastery checks, and updating the progress tracker. All right, reflection for you, can please pause the video and tell me a little bit about what you liked about previous history classes. What did you like? What did you dislike? And why? I'd love to find that information. And then when you're done with that, click submit on the module and then go ahead and come up and sign up for an exit ticket 0.1. Good luck.